yes. Once I tried, marking some scripts. I was told that
Very strict.
that I wasn't doing well, that I was going to fail everybody. And I said, well, if you failed, you failed. So what's the point in trying to give you a little bit of mark? So I think, and I still think I'll go into teaching. I look forward to teaching, communications, spoken communication, poetry, and of course, called journalism and PR. I think I want to go into all of that as we get older.
Interesting. Now, I need you to tell us your most memorable outing as a broadcaster.
Well, I think off the top of my head, I'll recall one of it was when we were coming on Sunrise Day, myself, Chamberlain, and Markway, and there was this terrible accident on that long bridge, the Kara axis, where they sell cattle, cows, and it affected everyone. And I was producing the program at that point in time, so I called Chamberlain, where are you? He said he's stuck in that traffic. Markway was also stuck in the traffic, and I was also stuck in that traffic. And that's one of the beauties, that's one of the key things people don't understand about the profession. So I placed a call to the chairman. He was out of the country then, and I said, we're all stuck. Can we, then there was no Zoom, it was just Skype. I said, can we do the show from location? And that's one thing about him. He says, if you think it's possible, go ahead. And I said, Chamberlain, and they deployed 3 drivers to all of us to look for us. They were tracing us in that traffic to take our cards. And each one of us logged onto our devices on Skype. And we connected to the station and we ran that show from location until the satellite equipment came to us and we were doing that live coverage on that. And instead of us to have a 2-hour show from 7 to 9 o'clock, Shana, we don't put ourselves in trouble. Then the management said, you know how journalism is, stay on the story until it's over. Yeah. So we decided to stay on that story. So we didn't leave that location until close to noon. So we're there till almost noon. So it's one of the most memorable moments. And again, the other was when we saw a change of guard. We're at Eagle Square, of course. In Nigeria, when you've seen a political, journey from 1999, and that party will always say will stay for 50 years, and something really, unexpected happened. So it was as if history was made. So we're seeing a new political party coming in. So those two aspects are actually very delicate.
Okay.
In my mind at the moment.
Okay. Now, I need you to tell us your most embarrassing outing as a broadcaster.
I don't know if I'll say most, because I've had a few, and it has to do with our coverage of Boko Haram. And I'm Muslim, because I'm Muslim, sometimes people call me on air, and they get to a point, they look at you as if it's a case of Islam versus Christianity, and you're asking questions, and it's time for you to look through social media. In fact, that was how I got my thick skin. And you go through social media and someone looks you in the eye because you have a Muslim name and you're Muslim. He or she thinks that you're from the core north, and he goes see them Fulani, how they kill people, Boko Haram and all that. And one embarrassing moment was saved by my colleagues. And I'll tell you the beauty of having colleagues who understand the profession. And the man looked me in the eye and he told me some things that were not in the Quran. And he was saying that X, Y, Z were in the Quran, and that's why people are killing and slaughtering people. And I was silent, because if I tried to, make him see reasons or counter him and say, this doesn't exist, it would seem as if we're having a fight because I'm Muslim. So the moment I was silent, Chamberlain and Markway, they dogged it, because on their devices, they have all of those information. So they dug into their devices and they said, no, wait a minute, that's not in the Quran. Can you tell us what part of the Quran? So it became a fight of like, oh, okay, I don't shut up. They are now asking you. So you can't say as a Muslim. So they mixed at that point in time for that program, even though it was not strategically, pulled together was a blessed one, because you couldn't bring anything about Christianity and think you walk away when you're saying something untoward about Christianity, or you have people who are knowledgeable about the book. You couldn't bring anything about Islam when you have people who are knowledgeable sitting, right in front of you. So the most embarrassing moment was that. And another one was a man who came and he had a device. He was recording us right in the studio. He had a recording pen, and and we didn't know we were being recorded. So you could imagine, why would you come on the live television and record your guests, if you know what I mean? And those were trying moments, which I know will go into the memoirs, of our colleagues. But by and large, a whole lot that
I like that.
But yes, a
I
whole
like
lot that,
that.
there's
I
a
like
way,
that.
because of the ability to handle pressure. Now, let me bring this in here quickly. We've seen a lot of people now on television and on radio. People lose it on air. We've seen people, I know people will understand what I'm saying here, and even my respected colleague will understand that I'm talking about that scenario. People wouldn't want, I've been saying Azu. Even if Azu is 80 years old, even if, for instance, one of my mentors, Ted Mukoro, of blessed memory, we'll call him, Uncle Ted, off air. But if we found ourselves live on television, you can imagine, we'll call him Ted Mukoro.
By his name.
And yes. So if I have a Christopher Colade here, till date, even his last birthday, when I sent him a message, he will reply and he will put his initial, CK. Me and I'm not been mates. You and I'm not been mates, but he understands. So it comes back to how to handle pressure. So if you can handle pressure no matter what, because one beautiful thing about this job is that it's even worse on television. On radio, you can hide your facial expression, your body language, but on television, oh my God,
you can't.
When you try to look away from the camera for a millisecond like this, it shows as if you've just done that for like 2, 3, 4, seconds.
That's true.
So handling pressure helps. So as long as you know you can handle pressure, people will find you. People will do a whole lot. Let me quickly bring in the other one. The last one was the Oga at the top, which people vilify my colleagues. Yeah, people vilify my colleagues. On that day, I wasn't on set, but I was producing. I had done the 10 p.m. news. On that day, I was too tired to go on air, so I was producing. I had invited a man. What people don't even know is that there are different kinds of interviews. They see now, you and I were laughing, we're talking. That's how interview should be. An interview is not an interrogation. But our colleagues have taken the art of interviewing to mean interrogation. So you want to fight everyone. Hard Talk on the BBC